What's up, brother? How are you doing? Today, in this workshop, I'm gonna show you how you can go from being a nice guy to an integrated man and how you can bring that confidence and those skills that you have in your job, in your career, in your business, into your relationship. I created this workshop because I was talking to men that look great on paper. They were looking after themselves, they had the good job, they had the good career, they had the good business, they drove the car, they were financially stable. On paper, they look great. But then when it came to their relationship, they always crumble on their knees. They couldn't stay in a relationship and hold the space for their partner. And why is that? Because every time they were entering a relationship, they were going from this confident man that knows what he's doing and has his life together, all the way to being a nice guy. And why? Because every time you enter a relationship, you have fears that kick in, fears of abandonment, fear of rejection, and the belief that you're not good enough that makes you behave like a nice guy, because that's how you were told to be with women. When you put together fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, the belief that you're not good enough, and the belief that you must earn love, that's how you get the nice guy. Because the nice guy is a man that is driven, every behavior that he has is driven by one or multiple of these factors. Now, how do I know that? I know that because I was that guy myself. I was the guy that was always performing, that was always trying to be perfect. I was the guy that couldn't open up or couldn't express his emotions, his needs, and I was just giving, always hoping that I was gonna get back. I was the guy that had the good car, had the nice job, had the physique, but everything that I had it because I wanted approval. I wanted the external approval from others and I wanted to look good. Those behaviors always, they always acted as a wall between me and other people because I was creating this perfect picture of myself, this perfect image of myself, and I couldn't connect deeply with my partner, with my friends. And the reason why is because I thought if I show up for who I am, they are gonna reject me, they are gonna abandon me. And I thought I'm not good enough. So I needed a bigger chest, I needed a newer car, I needed a better job, I needed more money, I needed blah, blah, blah. Everything that could get me the external validation from others. Everything that could other people say, oh, look at Fabio, he's got his shit together, he's such a great guy. Everything that I could have done, I've done it. But it's not just that, because every time I was entering a relationship, I was lost. For the first few months, I was great at it. I knew how to perform the perfect guy. But when problems came up, I didn't know how to communicate, I didn't know how to express my feeling, and so I was just ignoring them. And eventually, if the relationship lasted long enough, I was exploding and she was leaving me. Other times, because of these nice guy behaviors and the overthinking that I was doing, I couldn't even give the first kiss because I was so afraid of the girl liking me or not. I was insecure. Other times, I stayed in relationship that I didn't want to stay just because I thought, oh, I can make this work, I can be the hero, I can fix this. And all these behaviors were driven by those specific fears and limiting beliefs that I had on myself. So, what are the behaviors that the nice guy have? The behaviors of the nice guy, I would start with, he's a people pleaser. The nice guy thinks that if he's going to be making everyone around him happy, they are gonna stay, they are gonna love him. The second thing is that the nice guy cannot express himself, he cannot speak up for himself. Why? Because he is afraid that if he rocks the boat, if he creates a conflict, he is going to lose people. He also thinks that if he sets boundaries, a boundary is a standard that when it's set and broken, you should let the person that broke that standard, that broke that boundary, go, or you should confront her or him. If you do that and you're a nice guy, your nervous system reacts and thinks he's in danger. And so the nice guy avoids all this. The nice guy just wants to go through life nice and smoothly, because if he does that, he is gonna get the approval of everyone. He is always seeking that external validation. So the nice guy avoids conflict. The nice guy is a people pleaser. He cannot set boundaries. He can't speak up for himself, and he cannot express his needs and what he wants, because he thinks that if he does that, he's going to result as needy, and that is not liked by people. And so if he show up like that, he's gonna be rejected. He is a shapeshifter because he thinks that if he is what other people want him to be, then he's gonna be loved. He's gonna be accepted. Everything he does is always to gain that external validation. And when he gives, the nice guy gives a lot, because he wants to look like he is a great person, he's a nice guy. But the problem when the nice guy gives is that there is always a transaction happening for him. I'm giving you, so you give back to me. The problem with this is that the nice guy set this silent contract with that person, and when that person doesn't respect the contract, what happens is he gets frustrated. He builds resentment. Remember, he cannot express how he's feeling, because if he does so, he is going to create a conflict, and so he avoids that. Another problem of the nice guy in relationships is that he cannot lead. He is not a leader. He tries to be liked more than he tries to be respected by his partner. And so he avoids to adopt all those masculine traits like leadership, like getting into a conflict, like speaking up for himself, just because he wants to keep the water calm. Now, by not being a leader, he's not being a leader because he doesn't want to feel controlling, not understanding that the partner loses all the attraction for him because of this reason. If you let her do all the work, she's not gonna feel safe around you. And so this is who the nice guy is. The nice guy is a man that adopted these behaviors because he's afraid of rejection, he's afraid of abandonment, he thinks he's not good enough, and he thinks that he needs to earn love, and so he performs and he gives, and always hoping to receive back. But where do these behaviors come from? They come from the fears and limiting beliefs that were generated from traumatic events. All those fears and all the hidden fears that you have and all the hidden limiting beliefs that you have and the programs, they are all generated by traumatic events that created wounds that made you become the nice guy. Also, growing up, you may have heard your mom saying, being a good boy, go help, be nice to girls. All these programs that were given to you created the nice guy identity. Now, I'm going to explain how I help men to overcome the nice guy syndrome and how you can start as well to do it on yourself. My program and my system is for the man that is ready to look at himself in the mirror and say, great, I am in this situation and it's my responsibility to change. I don't want you to blame yourself because you got no blame. But the point is, you are the only person that can change the situation you are in. And you're responsible to do so. You are responsible to go back and integrate your traumas, rewire your brain, and change your current situation. So if you're ready to do this, if you really want to build long-lasting relationship, if you're a man that have tried by himself and that has done the surface work, but it didn't work and always crumble on his knees when you get into a relationship, this, my friend, is gonna be your solution. My framework has 4 pillars: clarity, inner work, surface work, and integration. It's very easy. The first one, clarity. Clarity is about finding all the programs, all the hidden fears, all the hidden patterns that are playing out in your life and that are literally ruining your life. It's about finding out what the behaviors that we talked about before, about the nice guy, what those behaviors are for you, and if you have any other behaviors. Once we get a clear picture of what the nice guy syndrome looks like for you and what is the internal talk that you have with yourself, that's when we can start the inner work. The inner work is the part where we heal those beliefs, where we change those fears, and we do it together. We do it through 3 techniques. The first one is hypnosis, because hypnosis helps us access your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is that part of your brain where you store all your memories, all your programs, all your hidden fears, and we can finally rewrite the story that you told yourself about those fears, about those limiting beliefs, about yourself. The second one is breathwork, because breathwork is a perfect tool that can help your nervous system to be regulated. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly flat. You just need to be able to regulate your nervous system, and probably if you are a nice guy and you've been a nice guy for a long time, right now your nervous system is dysregulated because it's acting out of fear. So we want to regulate it, and then we want to help you regulate your nervous system every time you need to do so. Because if you don't change square one, every time your nervous system gets triggered, you go back to square one. You need to change square one, because square one is your reaction. So we need to change your reaction to how your nervous system receives informations. And the third one is NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. This tool also help us access your unconscious mind, help us reprogram your limiting beliefs and your fears, your hidden fears, and help you change the way you speak to yourself, change the way you think about stuff. And that's how you change your reality, by changing how your thoughts works. Then we are going to move into the surface work, what I like to call surface work. A lot of men start changing themselves from here. They start to go to the gym, they start to buy a new car, they get a new car, they dress in a different way, they start journaling, meditating, blah, blah, blah. Surface work is great, but surface work doesn't work when you are trying to cover up who you are. If you just say in the mirror, I am great, I am great, I am great, but inside you don't believe that, that's when the surface work doesn't work. If you rewire your limiting beliefs from inside, and then you do the work to affirm, to confirm what you actually believe, that's when the surface work works. And then we got the last step. The last step is integration, because you need to integrate who you are fully. You are gonna be able to show up with your strength and with your weaknesses. You are not gonna be afraid anymore of being rejected and being abandoned. You are not gonna believe your limiting beliefs anymore, because we're gonna change them. And so you are gonna go through life with a different point of view, with a different mindset, with your nervous system being able to receive, analyze, and then react, instead of receive the information, get triggered, and explode. This is how you go from nice guy to integrated man. We talked about who the nice guy is. but we didn't explain who the integrated man is. And that's what I want to do right now. The integrated man is a man that is comfortable with his weaknesses and his strength. He is a man that can lead. He is a man that can speak up for himself. He is a man that knows that conflict is needed. The integrated man is a man that is not afraid of showing up for who he really is, because he knows that if he wants to be loved, really loved unconditionally, you need to show up for the man that you are. Because just like that, you are going to be able to attract the right people into your life. Being a shapeshifter, always making other people happy, is never going to get you to real happiness, to building the relationship of your dreams and attract a partner that really loves you for who you are, because you are not showing her who you are. The integrated man is a man prioritizes himself and doesn't look for that external validation. He goes to the gym to feel stronger, to feel better, and to look good, but he wants to look good for himself, not because he wants other people to notice it and give him the compliment. Of course, a compliment is always great to receive, but it's not good when you need that in order to be happy. You need to start. The integrated man is a man that knows what he's worth, and when he knows that he has weaknesses, he works on them. He takes responsibility for who he is and what he wants to achieve. And you already are that person, because if you're still watching this video, you decided at the beginning to take responsibility for who you are, and you want to change that. So you already are an integrated man. You just need to start to change the way you see life through the eyes of a nice guy, and start to see life through the eyes of an integrated man. Now, I created 10 principles that you can download. In the description, there is a link with a guide and principle of the integrated man. If you resonated with the description of the nice guy and you have the problem that he has, if your relationship always feel like a struggle and you are ready to take responsibility, to look at yourself in the mirror and say, great, this is my opportunity to change, I'm gonna invite you to apply for the one-on-one coaching. We are gonna have a conversation where we assess where you are at and how I can help you specifically. If you're ready to do that, apply, download my guide, and I'll talk to you soon.